Alright, dickheads, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? What is artwod? The best platform in the world to teach you how to draw from imagination. They gave the workout the shortcut, blah, 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 right? Fucking, dude, I'm so tired. I don't want to fucking draw today. Jesus Christ. I'm Viggy. I've been drawing for 3 years and 7 months, right? This is the reason I can draw, because of artwod. They teach you how to draw with forms. Check them out. I'm not a fucking shill. I am a shill. I'm a dick writer. I'm not affiliated. Get your pen, get your paper, draw with me. I'm so fucking tired. I don't even know where this tiredness has come from, but I don't want to draw at all, right? I only understand line form and perspective, blah, blah, blah. Holy shit. I have like a headache too. So, no idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea what's going on, but that's just the way it is currently. So, let's draw. Let's draw. What are we doing? We're doing the artwod portrait roadmap, where I look at a reference and then I project a box onto that reference, right, in perspective, and then I project the center lines, vertical, horizontal, and diagonal on each visible plane. I see through the form in my mind, and on the page I calculate it, and I project the same center lines, vertical, horizontal, and diagonal on the invisible planes, and then I do this fuckery. I try to hold that in my mind. Then I try to see the three center planes, right? This one, and this horizontal one. I try to create that as like a solidified schema, mental model in my mind. Then I put ellipses in there in perspective. Then I connect the edges of the ellipse to form the sphere, right? Why am I doing this? Because this is the foundation on which the portrait will lie on, as per the Loomis method, right? Again, artwod literally just asks you to do this 3 times, and not even this. They just ask you to do, oh, please do a box. Like, look at a reference, do a box. And actually, in the part that I'm at, they just ask you to trace over an existing thing. But obviously, like, again, they give you really good work, but it's our responsibility to just make it 100 times more difficult and do 100 times more repetitions of that difficulty required, right? So with that being said, I'm already starting to visualize the box, and it's getting better. It's actually getting a lot easier to visualize the box, but right now I'm really trying to visualize the box. I'm trying to see through the form as much as possible, right? I'm really trying to see through the form. So I'm seeing the box, and dude, my brain does not want to do this today at all. I don't even want to fucking draw. I don't want to draw. I don't want to record. I don't want to do fucking anything today, right? No idea why, to be honest. And I'm already seeing it in the wrong angle. Like, this is the angle of the reference, roughly. This is probably wrong as well, but it's pretty subtle, right? It's like this is the this is the perspective. Fucking genius explanation. I think this video definitely nobody's gonna be drawing a log, bro. My energy isn't even there. But hey, if I can do it, you can do it, right? If I can have zero energy and just not want to draw at all, and I'm still here drawing, then you can do it as well. But this is why, like, I just need to lean into the difficulty even more, because my brain is actively, especially right now, my brain is actively working against me. It's telling me that, hey, don't do it. But like, don't do it, right? Just don't fucking exert any energy, and that's why I have to be like, no, shut the fuck up, right? You just have to tell your brain to shut the fuck up. That's the main part of it, right? Because I will exert energy, and I will ignore this supposed fatigue that I'm feeling, because it is just a fucking feeling at the end of the day, right? And I will visualize what I need to visualize, right? Right now, I'm really trying to visualize the seen through XYZ axis, right? So like the seen through, because this is basically the visible, and then this is the invisible, right? This, and it's upside down is how I define it, right? But I'm trying to visualize this first, because if I can visualize the seen through form, or the seen through XYZ, like I call it the Y, but like, yeah, that seen through structure that defines the X, Y, and Z plane, right? Then I can, in my opinion, like, start reverse engineering and seeing the full form. But this is extremely difficult, right? Like, I still struggle just visualizing this seen through box in general, right? Which is the first step. And holy shit, my brain is already feeling extreme amounts of friction, right? Genuinely, I'm feeling extreme amounts of friction right now. So, okay, yeah, my fucking dude, I'm saying I don't want to draw, but that doesn't mean I'm not doing the work that requires for me to draw, right? But I'm just really trying to lean into this as much as possible, right? I'm trying to see the correct angle. It's actually kind of like the opposite of this. It's not as subtle as this bottom plane is, right? It's definitely wider than that, but it is still, and again, because I'm seeing the top, like this bottom plane here, right, is much wider, right? Because I'm gonna be adding convergence. This top plane should be a lot narrower. So this is roughly the top plane, right? From what I can tell, it's something like this. Yeah. But the bottom plane, because there's convergence, is gonna be something like this. See? And then this right here, this is what I'm trying to visualize, and then I'm trying to reverse engineer all these planes as the calculations, right? So, and again, this is diverging, voice crack. Holy shit, my eyes are fucking hurting. Everything is hurting, bro. I can. See, I want to say I cannot, but the answer is I can and I will, right? I can and I will get this angle down. Already, okay, see, already I'm seeing it a little bit better. I'm seeing it a little bit better, right? And again, I'm doing the outside perspective first, like the visible planes, but then I'm also trying to think about the invisible XYZ, right? That you don't see. And I need to bring the box down because right now the box is overall up here. I need to bring it down here. And I need to be able to, okay, now I see it. Now I see it relatively decently. But again, my hand for this plane, which is this, it's going way too, actually this is wrong too, right? But it's going way too, these are diverging as well, holy fuck. But it's going way too far out, like it's too wide. It's just wrong. The angle is more subtle. It's like this, right? But I'm doing this. You see the difference? It's supposed to be like this. I'm doing this. And that's for this side plane, by the way. I meant for this side plane, but obviously in this perspective, right? So I was doing something like, yeah, even that is like too drastic, right? It's supposed to be this is the angle, and I'm constantly doing this as the angle, right? But that is the difference that allows me to visualize, right? This is the difference that will allow me to visualize. So obviously I do, because I don't understand it externally in terms of the outside perspective yet, I do need to be thinking about it in that sense. My brain really doesn't want to fucking try today. Holy shit, it really doesn't want to try. Or maybe it's always like this. And today, I think today, it's just harder for me to push through my brain, right? I think genuinely today, like I'm just feeling like a fucking 10 times more friction and pushing through. But that's when like, right, okay, see the pit of discomfort in my stomach is back. And this is exactly where I need to push through, right? And I need to be able to see through the form. So I need to be able to see through, let me bring it down here. I need to be able to see through the form. And then, there you go. And then and only, okay, but I got the angle wrong. My eyes are hurting, holy shit. Holy fuck, bro. This is probably, I think objectively, like, because percentage-wise, in terms of just sheer fucking logic and likelihood and probability, right? About 10% of your practices will be amazing, and about 10% of them will be not good, like really bad. I think today is the really not good day. Like, today, literally, my brain cannot think. And on top of that, I have a fucking headache. Like, I literally have a goddamn headache. Like, my eye is hurting for some reason. So we just gotta push through. We just gotta push through that, right? Because it's at an angle. The box as well. Because this is a top-down angle of this guy's face, right? This is his front plane of his face, right? Like this is his front plane, right? And this is a top-down angle. So like this is basically what we see, right? And this is basically the box. You know, if I were to add a bit more drastic convergence, like that is the box roughly. But the front plane is also a lot narrower. It's a lot narrower. So I need to keep that in mind as well, right, while I draw this, because I have a tendency to make both sides of the plane even if that doesn't make, that's not even a joke. I just thought the fact that I said even twice maybe chuckle for some reason. Even if like it's more drastic like that, right? Like if that is the box, you know. But I still try to figure out how that looks appropriate in terms of like, this needs to look like a proper box that's foreshortened in space, right? Like this plane needs to look like it's smaller. I don't know why I put an ellipse there, but it just needs to look like it's smaller, but in perspective. Not that it's actually a smaller width of like it's not that it's just like a thinner box in general, right? This needs to be reflective of the perspective, not reflective of the, like this is just a box that's like this, and it's thin, and if you looked at it in the front, it would still be thin, right? And versus like this being the proper cube or whatever, like the more accurate square plane. I can't explain. Hopefully that makes sense. Fucking Jesus. But hey, hopefully maybe this gives motivation. Hopefully this inspires you or motivates you guys to be like, and girls, right? To be like, oh, okay, like he is having a bad art day. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's like he just can't think right now. And I'm trying really hard. To see through the form and to see the box. Like I'm gonna try my best to stay in this discomfort. And again, my brain really wants to make this front plane a lot more drastic, right? But I'm trying really hard. Holy shit, I'm trying really fucking hard. Sorry, I'm just like dying right now mentally. But I'm trying really hard to see this perspective. And again, I'm doing the outside plane. Okay, that pit of discomfort in my stomach is back, right? And I just need to think. Right? Think, Mark, think, haha, he referenced Invincible. Right? He's like one of us, right? He does memes, but I just need to think. And I think I have, okay, so just for a second, I'm trying to hold this, but I think I have the perspective and the scene through form, everything down relatively decently. I just need to really try to see it. I'm constantly, and again, like the angles keep going like this way, like they're very drastic, and I need to make them a lot more subtle like this, right? So I'm constantly forcing my brain to be like, no, it's subtle, it's subtle, it's subtle, right? So this is all part of it, right? And it's again an angle. This is literally like it's the opposite of this, but the top down version. Like this is like this, and it's subtle here. And this one's this way, and it's subtle here, right? In terms of like it's a narrow top plane. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain. I don't think I tried that hard, but I'm gonna rest my brain, and then we're gonna try again. I'm really gonna try to keep leading into this. Fuck, my brain is like it's just tired today, and I hope I hope this gives you encouragement that like these off days happen, right? Like I have a fucking headache for some reason, but I'm still drawing. You know, gotta do it tired, do it broke, do it horny, just do it. Hashtag. Anyways, rest your brain. Yeah, today's definitely a difficult day, and this is why you cannot be so outcome focused, right? So result focused, because if I was focused on the result, even though you're not seeing me do anything, right? But if I was just focused on the result of like having a strong, clear visualization, right? Then it would already be GG. Like it would already be like, okay, you didn't achieve. Like you didn't achieve you trying to see this visualization as strong as you could. Like you failed. Good job, you're a fucking failure, right? But it's not about that, right? It's about me just trying, you know? It's about me just trying to, like me just trying to try, like me just trying to achieve, right? And that's where the effort-based mindset really thrives, and that's in life, and like that's where it really thrives, right? Because this way, it genuinely comes down to just, despite how you feel, and I'm really fucking, and again, my prefrontal cortex is pretty taxed, and again, that pit of discomfort in my stomach is back, right? But I'm really just trying to see the form and see through the box as well as I can. Just for a second, I can see this plane, this plane, this plane, and then the other plane. Just for a second, I see it, and I'm just trying to think about the convergence as well, right? The slight convergences towards the vanishing points that I'm trying to do. But okay, see, and then I lost it again. Take a step back. Okay, try again, right? So this is why it's all about the effort, because I will still come out of this session satisfied because I'm trying, right? Like because I know that despite however I felt in the moment, right, I still, and again, like I'm doing the wrong angle. Like this is relatively the angle, right? It's very subtle. It's pretty much like that. And then that's why I have to make this bottom one convergence a lot more drastic, right? Something like this, because then you're like, oh shit, this plane is a lot larger, right? This seen through plane. Fuck that up a little bit because it should be down here, but either way. And again, the front plane is foreshortened to a degree, I believe, right? Like the face, where his face is, right? Like that is, if it's not foreshortened, but I think it's narrower at the very least, right? So, and again, like that simulation I have, like on the Sketchfab, it's all linked in description of like the box. That's been helping a lot in me thinking about this, right? And again, and even though that doesn't tilt, it doesn't actually tilt. Like it's usually just straight, and you can like move it around and shit. But there's no tilts that you can do. But it's great to help with the concept because it's pretty fucking similar in terms of the concept. But I'm really struggling with thinking right now. And again, I'm speaking while thinking, or I'm speaking while drawing in my mind, which is extremely taxing. Oh man, this is definitely one of my worst art sessions. Like in terms of just pure ability, right, and pure effort, because I'm struggling so hard to even just put the effort in right now. This is literally like a bottom 1% day for me. Genuinely, this is a bottom 1% day for me, and that's why I'm gonna push even harder, right? Like this is why I'm going to really try and see even more, because like before I even make down a mark, just now, like before I make down a mark right now, because I will make down the mark, I'm gonna try my fucking best to see everything. I'm gonna look at the reference again. I'm gonna try to understand. Right? Okay, now I'm gonna just try my fucking hardest to see the entire thing, right? To see through the form, to see everything. And this is where kings are made. No, this is where the progress happens. This pit of discomfort in my stomach is fucking back. I have to do this for 50 more minutes today. This is gonna be very difficult. Definitely one of my hardest sessions so far, most likely. But this is literally where the discipline and the mastery is forged. Like during days like these where I just feel like fucking ass, you know? I literally feel like ass, right? And this isn't me, like, I'm not trying to speak it into existence, be like, oh, I feel like ass, therefore I just end up feeling worse because I'm feeding into that. But genuinely, objectively, my right eye is just super, like, this is hurting, like a headache, you know, that type of pain, the right eye, right? My neck is extremely stiff and hurting as well. I slept well, too. I don't know, this feeling just came about the last half an hour, right? Like, and my brain does not want to put the effort in, but I'm constantly thinking about this, the outside XYZ and then the inside XYZ, right? And I'm course correcting to the best of my ability, right, to make it more subtle, but this one is still has a wider degree, it's a wider plane than this one, which is much narrower, right? I'm trying to connect it, and now just for a split second, I'm gonna, not a split second, but for as long as I can, try to hold it all together. It doesn't make sense, my brain is like constantly, everything is diverging, by the way, everything is diverging, but I'm gonna try to see the cross axes, right? Center, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, right? I'm gonna try to see that to the best of my fucking ability. And it is very difficult. It is extremely difficult, right? But I'm gonna try to see. I'm trying to hold it right now. I'm trying to hold it all, right, to the best of my ability. Fuck, man, this is so difficult. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain again. I'll probably be resting my brain a bit more in this session. I encourage you to do so as well. Jesus. Just one of those sessions, right? Oh my god, my fucking neck is so sore too. And it's not because I have bad posture. I want to be very clear. This isn't like a stereotypical artist, like, oh, I'm fucking, my neck is hunched over like this, and my head is like here, and I'm like, oh. Like, no, I actually have very good posture, right? It's purely just some sort of tension. Probably the way I slept. Could be it. I have a lacrosse ball. I just need to stretch my traps more. But either way, okay, I'm trying to think about this again. Let's just put down the first line. Right? Let's just put that line down to really understand where my perspective is. And this line is going to be a great anchor point, because now that I have this line, I can force myself to really think about the box, right? And already I'm thinking about this plane, and then on the seen through side, right? Coming out again. And this is actually going to make, this makes it a lot easier. This definitely makes it a lot easier to think about. Like, I'm already like seeing it a lot better, right? Of course the pen is going to shit because I keep keeping it out and it's getting dry. I don't know if that's what it is, because like these pens should be able to not get fucking dry just because they're out for a couple minutes in the air, right? Otherwise, how the fuck is the pen gonna ever bleed through or like have any sort of ink? But that's what it is. But anyways, I'm really trying to understand. Holy fuck, I'm really trying to understand. But I'm just trying to think about the box overall, right? I'm trying to think about the perspective of the box. Now, like already immediately, I'm trying to see through because I can see through the box a lot clearer now, and I am trying to see all the cross axes, right? This like this, diagonal, vertical, horizontal. I'm trying to see all of that on every existing side and every non-existing side, right? And it is extremely difficult, but this is what allows me to hold things in my mind a bit better. And again, you'll see I went like this, but that's wrong. It's supposed to be like this. Yeah, it's supposed to be like this. It's very subtle. So the box in of itself has been very incorrect, but constantly, because I keep acknowledging that and I have a pit of discomfort in the back in my stomach, right? My working memory is extremely taxed. I want to be very clear. It's constantly very taxed, right? And again, it's wrong. Like, my mind keeps creating this type of line, which is relatively accurate, but it's more subtle than that too. It's more like this, right? It's very, very subtle, you know? Like, this is the box, basically, right? And then if I add a little bit of convergence, this is not fucking, there's like no convergence here, but this is literally the box. And see, that looks like a perfect cube. But again, I still think that's wrong, because the front plane needs to be smaller, right? The front plane needs to be a lot smaller, right? And the side plane, if I look at the perspective of the actual, there you go, of like the reference, it needs to be more like this, I think. Could be completely wrong, right? I'm still figuring out, I'm literally still figuring out perspective, but you know, it takes you very far, even when you don't know anything, right? It takes you very far just trying to figure it out. I'm looking at the reference again right now. I'm really trying to see what the fuck is going on, right? Because I'm trying to project this box, like the box I'm trying to see here. I'm trying to hold that and see it in the reference as well, right? But let's see. And my brain, again, is like constantly, it keeps making this bottom plane like wrong. It keeps completely, it's supposed to be like this, right? It keeps shooting it up like this, even when I'm looking at the reference. So again, your brain will constantly do these things where it's basically telling you that like, no, well, it's basically gonna do the wrong thing because it doesn't know that it's doing the wrong thing. It's doing what's comfortable, what's familiar, and what you've done before. And it just doesn't, it's just gonna do it wrong. Like, it's just gonna make the mistakes, right? And it's the ability to recognize that it's occurring and then constantly course correct that to the best of your ability. And I'm telling you right now, I only recognize it like maybe half the time, and then I have to be aware of that I'm recognizing it. Be like, okay, wait, like fix it, right? There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to think about when it comes to this shit. So actually, I think this box, the front plane is a bit more it's very subtle, but I'm pretty sure the front plane is slightly, it is shorter. Okay, so let me just do this to like start it off, right? Let me just do this to start this off, because I'd have to see the box while I do this as well, right? It is a little bit shorter, but it's not as if like it's incredibly short, right? And I probably should have converged this a bit better, but let's see. Something like this. And then the other side of the box is something like that, right? It is a little bit, this is actually too small. I made this way too small. Hold up. Oh shit, I did make this box way too small. Fuck, I made this length way too small. That's a mistake on my end. I actually made the box way too small. Fuck. Okay, we'll just have to bring this down a little bit then. There you go. So this is my, and that's okay. Like, that's a mistake that you just accept. I've gotten too fucking good at making things parallel, bro. Like, I'm actually struggling right now to not make it parallel, right? And then this is the box on this side, right? This is this side plane. It's larger, and I'm really trying to see through the form right now. Like, I'm really trying to see through the form, but I believe this is, if I look at the reference, I believe this is relatively accurate, because then the box is gonna fit in something like this, right? It is larger slightly on this side, and then we can converge this, right? Fucking dude, suck my goddamn dick, this pen, I swear to God. Holy shit, I'm already struggling to see, and this thing is getting more annoying by the goddamn day, because I can't even put the lines down that I want, because it's so shit. Pen to replace, pen to brush sign, pen artist to pen replace. Please, okay. Yeah, like, it's extremely subtle. Even more subtle than this, actually, Jesus Christ. And then, like, I'm trying to see through the form, see the invisible, right? And let's actually have a little bit of fucking convergence for once, god damn it. There you go. Okay, so that is pretty decent. Because I'm trying to put, like, think, every time I look at the perspective, Jesus Christ, cannot speak. Every time I look at the reference, I have to remember that the bottom of the nose is here, right? But my brain constantly wants to put the box, and wants to start the box at where the eyebrow is. But that's wrong, because the eyebrow is here. It's in the middle, right? So I need to be able to, I literally have to think about the top of the head and the fact that it exists, right? So when I think about this now, I believe it is a bit more accurate, right? I believe it is a bit more accurate. I don't know. I'm really, like, again, that pit of discomfort in my stomach is back, but I'm really trying to project this perspective onto, like, this literal box. I'm trying to project onto the reference, and I'm trying to see if I got it accurate. And I think I did. I think I actually did get it pretty accurately. Accurately? Voice crack. Accurately. Oh my god, bro. Like, very difficult art day. But now, I'm gonna do the next thing, which is see through the form. Right, see through the form, and start visualizing every fucking, just like every goddamn line that exists, right? The planes, everything, and then the cross axes, this one, right? This, like the one projected out from here from the back, so diagonal, vertical, horizontal, right? And then this bottom one right here as well. And I'm trying to hold all of that in my mind right now. I'm trying to hold all of that and see I'm gonna just lean into and try to see every single fucking one. And I'm not even gonna use my fingerless pen as an anchor point, right? Let's just try to hold it all together to see whether I can see, right? To make sure that I can see. And extremely difficult, like genuinely extremely difficult, right? Right. But for a split second, I think I am seeing it all, but I don't know if I am actually. I'm just seeing through the form right now. I'm just seeing the box, and let me try to like really see that pit of discomfort's back, and this is where I got to really push in, and I'm just trying to fucking see, like just calculate everything. And this, I'm actually trying to bring the center lines in as well, right? The center planes, because that obviously does exist, but I'm really trying to see it all. And like this diagonal is extremely hard to see, obviously, because it's so tiny. Right? I'm gonna have a field day drawing that with the green pen afterwards, right? But let's see. Let's just try our fucking hardest. And like I'm really leaning into this. My brain is like dying, by the way. Like I'm basically in output regression, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna lean the fuck into this to the best of my ability, and just keep drawing in my mind, of course. Like keep trying to see the center line, the vertical, horizontal, diagonal, right? Everywhere. Everything everywhere all at once. Oh, very good movie. But anyways, fucking lean into a bit longer. Stay in this discomfort. Fucking genuinely stay in this discomfort. I'm losing it all, by the way. I keep losing it constantly, but just keep staying in this discomfort and push through. Okay, so I'm losing the planes now. I'm losing everything. Keep staying here. Okay. Holy shit. It's only been 26 minutes? Oh my god. My fucking brain can't handle this today, bro. But it will. It can't handle it yet. It will. So let's rest our brains. Yeah, this is actually like, this is genuinely very difficult. Like extremely fucking difficult. But yeah, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Yeah, goddamn. That's all I can say to today. It was just, well, I hope this gives encouragement. I mean, probably not now, but probably years from now, right? When somebody chances upon this video, be like, oh shit. I mean, he literally didn't want to draw, and he felt like shit, and he just couldn't think and everything, and yet he burped and continued. Bless me. That was like a question mark. It's like, are you gonna burp? Right, but let's see. Really trying to think. So like I want to also say, like, definitely you guys are capable of this, right? Like if I'm doing this, you can do this too. Like if I can, and I'm not saying the baseline should be you feel like shit, by the way. I'm gonna be very clear, right? Like if you constantly feel like shit, get your fucking health together. Get your fucking health together. Get some exercise, get some sunlight, get some fresh air, go for a fucking walk, stop eating like garbage, get some proper sleep, right? Like no shit, that's the bare minimum, right? I don't know why I said bare like that, but that's the bare minimum, aren't that right? But yeah, if you constantly feel like shit, get your fucking health together. But I'm saying on days where you do feel like shit, the off days that you do, right, it is completely okay to continue to try even then, right? And again, I'm trying to visualize like fuck it. Like if I'm gonna grind my brain to this extent, let's just constantly try to see the center planes, because then I'll force my brain to try to see the center horizontal, vertical. It's like diagonal, vertical, horizontal center lines as well. On the, I keep calling them I used to call them cross axes. I don't know if that's accurate, whatever. Center lines on the planes themselves, right? My voice is nasally, but center lines on the planes, the planes themselves, right? And that will force me to really think. And this is getting better. Like my ability to just see through the form, and like especially after drawing the box, no shit, right? But my ability to see through the form and to think about the center planes, even if it's still extremely fleeting and like in the fucking single digits when it comes to percentages of how much I'm able to visualize it, just the fact that the ability for me to access that is getting faster noticeably by like 10-20% since like the past 6 hours of practice is a testament to the fact that the slow and steady progress of constantly trying to visualize is working. And by the way, while I'm talking, I'm thinking about this center plane, right? The one that's like this, Right? I'm thinking about this one. I'm thinking about this one. I'm not thinking about them together as a chunked component, but I'm trying to force my brain to think about them as a chunked component right now. Like I'm really trying to force my brain. And again, for this one, this line right here, for the one that's this center plane, right? My brain immediately made it go this way. Like this line, you see how it's supposed to be like this? My brain made it go this way. And I have to be like, oh, what the fuck? That's completely wrong. Like bring it more subtle, way more subtle, way more subtle, right? And again, that forces me to constantly think about the cross axes and then the center of like everything. The cross axis is like the main thing, the diagonal cross axis. Like this thing is what really holds it all together, right? So the better I can see that, I think that's actually maybe a good way to think about it. It's like, it's not as if it is diagonal, vertical, horizontal, like, and these are like individual, but it's probably just diagonal on every single plane, and then the vertical and horizontal are the center planes. I think that is a switch. Okay, so here it is. Like, let me explain. So even on these off days, clearly I can learn things, right? So here's what I'm trying to say. The brain chunks things into components, right? It like, the more it struggles with something, the more it has to figure out how to, via myelination and the myelin sheath getting thicker and like neuroplasticity occurring and the discomfort that you feel when you're trying to do it. It has to force itself to be like, we have excess amount of things, dozens of things that we're trying to keep in our working memory. We can really only keep 4 to 9 things in our working memory. We need to figure out a way to consolidate and effectively shrink this information into a cleaner piece of code, right? If I'm going to use a computer analogy, right? Like into a cleaner stream of information, into a much smaller, more condensed, more efficient chunk, right? Consolidated chunk of information, right? But the way I think we can sort of engineer that is right now, let me explain. Right now, when I think about, and let me switch pens again because this pen is also fucking failing miserably, right? But right now, when I've been thinking about the box and the seen through, okay, this one's also shit, whatever. But when I've been thinking about the box and the seen through form, right? This is how I've been thinking about it, which is we see through the form, right? And then when it comes to thinking about all the center lines, I'm doing individually in my mind, I'm doing diagonal, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, visible planes, and the same thing on the invisible, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, right? Like blah, 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 you get it, right? And then I'm trying to be like, I keep all that in my mind, and then I'd be like, oh, but then I can add the 3 center planes, like there you go, right? And that's its own separate thing, right? Like, and then, I add the ellipses. But in terms of efficiently thinking about it as chunked units of information, right? I'm leaning towards, and I'm realizing now, would it perhaps not be better where, yeah, like same thing, right? Like I see through the box, right? Like I see the box, I see through the box, but then when it comes to actually chunking the information, would it not be better to be just only see the diagonals, right? And this is the same thing, by the way, like in terms of like what is being seen, but it's the mindset, it's the approach, I think, is what makes the difference. Like I only see the diagonals, and then based on the diagonals, I can then see the 3 center planes, right, that are connecting it together, right? Would that not be more effective, right? Because then it's like, oh, okay, the diagonals, right, the diagonal cross axes per plane are their own individual components, which will be chunked together to be the box to only see the diagonals. Then the verticals and horizontals will be relying on them, but they will be the planes. Like that will be that's the next component, which is the 3 center planes being chunked together, right? And then it's like, okay, then you add the ellipses inside of it, right? And that's its own component. And then it's like, okay, now we got the sphere, right? So does that make sense? Basically, instead of thinking of each plane of having diagonal, vertical, horizontal, and trying to see that, it's more like have each plane only think about the diagonal, right? This diagonal, and then same with the back projected side, that diagonal, and then this one visible, this one invisible, and then that's like the one chunk, right? The chunk of, or like the one consolidated piece of information. And that's much easier because that's less calculations. That's literally, I'm cutting it in half, right? And then the next one is to see the center planes that are attached to those diagonals. It's the same thing, like technically the same output or like the same outcome is occurring in terms of visualization, but the input in terms of how I'm chunking that information is changing, and I believe that's more efficient, right? This is just me explaining my thoughts out loud. So let me try that right now. Let me try to do that right now. It's funny enough, it's the same thing, but I think just the shift in approach can make a huge difference. And I personally feel like it is making a difference, right? It's already a bit easier for me to think about, and this is a different type of thinking. It's still difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, right? It's easier in the sense that like I'm just the fact that I only have to think about the diagonals that apart from like not the vertical and the horizontal, like initially as my first step is just like think about the diagonals. That's already a lot easier And then it's like, okay, now I'm trying to create the 3 center planes in my mind, like that is based on these diagonals, right? And that is more difficult, but it is easy. That is difficult, sorry. That is still very difficult, but just this frame makes it a lot easier where I'm not. So basically, what I'm saying is like I'm reducing cognitive load because rather than rendering the diagonal, vertical, horizontal on every single visible and invisible plane in my mind, and then re-rendering the vertical and the horizontal anchored to the diagonals, right, with the 3 center planes, right, that are like of each plane, right, the 3 center planes, and then intersecting them, I'm removing the step where I'm immediately rendering the vertical and horizontal per plane in the first step. I'm removing that part, reducing it by 50%, cutting it in half, right? And then rendering the vertical and horizontal based on the solidity, the construction of the diagonal, right? So the center point to be like, okay, there you go. Like now we have this plane, right? And I think that it is still very difficult to intersect them, by the way. It's still very difficult for me to see them as a consistent 3-plane intersection, right? To see this, and then to see this, right? Like that's still difficult to see that all as a consistent chunk, right? As a consolidated piece of information. But by removing the step where I have to see, where I initially was trying to see everything and then see only the parts of everything that matter to create the 3-plane intersections, like no, now we just see what matters and then connect it with the intersection, right? Now we only see the diagonals that are necessary, and then we add the verticals and horizontals, but those verticals and horizontals are explicitly part of the 3-plane intersection, because they always have been. I'm just removing the step where I saw them initially just to see them for the sake of seeing them, right? If that makes sense. It's the same thing, like the outcome is the same, but it's a step-by-step progression. I'm changing the steps and like how I'm thinking about them, and I think that makes a huge difference. Like, I think. It is making a huge difference. It's genuinely making a huge difference. So now I need to lean into it before I rest my brain. I need to lean into it and fucking, yeah, like that pit of discomfort. I just gotta get into this feeling of like extreme discomfort. I'm gonna remove my pen here as an anchor point. I'm gonna remove it, and we're gonna just try to think about the diagonals right now, which is working. Okay, so I can see the diagonals, and then now I need to think about the 3 center planes, right, based on those diagonals, and I need to see through the form. I need to start with seeing the other invisible side of the form, right? And that is very hard because this line right here for the back, it stops here, but that's wrong because it should be stopping here. So all these little things, right, all these little things that are extremely difficult to see. And again, like this line that should be parallel is going this way for this back center plane, like this line, right? So like that is something that I have to constantly keep in mind. And but this is great because this I'm actually like literally trying. What the fuck? I'm anchoring. I'm anchoring these center planes to these diagonals now, rather than just trying to see everything all at once. I'm anchoring them to the diagonals. And it's the same thing, but just the approach. I hope this makes sense. But the approach in terms of doing the diagonals first and then anchoring the center planes to those diagonals, rather than seeing everything and then just trying to only see the center planes that are part of that everything. Does that make sense? So it's more stepped. So that way, like I'm building rather than having everything and then removing and then trying to have everything again, if that makes sense. But let me just really try to lean into this. I'm really trying to see everything properly, right? It's amazing that the human brain can even fucking try and fathom this sort of geometry, right? My friend actually came over yesterday. By the way, while I'm talking about this random shit, I'm still thinking. I'm constantly losing this center plane, this back plane, this back plane. I'm trying to fuse them all together, right? I'm really trying to, just for a second, I saw a tiny little iota of that fusion, right? But then I lost the diagonals everywhere. So that's the main thing. In the end, I still have to see everything, but the way I've broken it down into steps for me is, I think, making it a lot more approachable and manageable. It's still constantly oscillating in my mind. My working memory is still absolutely taxed, and I'm basically an output regression, right? But just the fact that, okay, pit of discomfort's back. This is amazing. So now that I figured out a system for this feels a lot more approachable. Like now that I believe I figured out a more, like a better system, a more refined system for this, right? But it's not that it's easy, it's fucking extremely difficult, and I'm in so much friction, but I'm putting a shit ton of effort. Again, effort is all that matters. I'm putting so much effort. Okay. I lost everything multiple times, right? All the diagonals for every single plane, visible and invisible, the center planes. I could just for like a split second, a couple times for a millisecond, basically, I saw a vague idea of the 3-plane intersection. Not the actual intersection, but a vague idea. And by vague idea, I mean like a vague calculation that was completely wrong, but a vague calculation nonetheless. But the fact is, it takes 1,000 vague calculations to get that one solidified, relatively mediocre calculation, and then it takes 1,000 relatively mediocre calculations to get that one strong calculation. right? And that's how skill is built, right? And it may or may not take 1,000, by the way. I say these really high numbers, not as a means to intimidate myself or you, who's hopefully drawing along, right? But as a means to remove the pressure of being able to do it over within a couple tries. Because once you just put a giant ass number to be like, it's gonna take me 1,000 times, 1,000 tries, right? A, you start defining a lot as 1,000. B, it removes the responsibility of being able to get it immediately. And C, I don't know why it's A, B, C. Why the fuck did I put 3 fingers for B? And C, the only responsibility it gives you is to fucking try with the understanding that I'm just gonna keep trying, and even if it takes 1,000 tries, I will get there, right? So let me rest my brain. I feel a lot better. I think what I needed was to just fucking try. My headache's gone. I out-efforted my headache, if that makes sense, right? So please rest your brain. All right, good stuff. Let's drink some water. Stay hydrated, yes? Took me fucking 40 minutes to not feel like absolute shit drawing today. But again, who really does this much intensive spatial reasoning every single practice, right? But again, I only have so much time in the day. I have 1 hour, 5 days a week. There's a reason why I'm min-maxing my art skills, right? Because I don't have the liberty. I probably do. Everybody has the fucking a little bit of extra time. But in terms of like my actual main practice, I don't have the liberty to do 2 hours right now. When I was jobless and I wasn't learning coding, I'm still jobless, by the way. But when I was jobless and not learning coding, right, I had an extra 2 hours, therefore I had an extra hour to draw, right? And my days were a little bit more lax, right? It was only 2 hours of drawing, an hour of case study work, portfolio work, an hour of piano, 2 hours of gymming, right? That was it. But now I have coding, so either way, so it's changed a little bit. I don't know why I always end up going on a tangent with my schedule, but oh fuck, I have to burp. Oh Jesus Christ, that one like fucking hurt my throat. It sounded like a shark too. But either way, this now like seeing through the form has gotten easier for sure. I think I've just gotten better at seeing through the form. And again, I saw like 30% of this. I saw 30% of the box with the seen through form when I was maybe 30% before I even put down the lines, right? Bless me. But that's something I can get better at. I'm gonna keep working on getting better at obviously just seeing through the form, because that's the first step. At the end of the day, the goal is to be able to see this fuckery immediately, right? Not just like after I draw things, but that's why I want to consolidate it. That's why it's gonna take hundreds of hours, because the goal is to be able to see this fuckery, right? With the box, the seen through box, the center lines, the diagonals, and then the center planes affixed from those diagonals for each single visible and invisible plane, and then the sphere and then the ellipses inside those center planes, and then the sphere that attaches with those ellipses, right? So like that is the goal, to see all of that like this at any angle, right? So it'll take hundreds of hours, but again, that's why we're building spatial reasoning ability, right? It's all spatial reasoning ability, and I keep putting my pen here to anchor myself on the like the actual point where this x, x, what is this fucking, this y, x, no, y, z, and then x, right? So x, y, z, right? To like hold it like this is where they meet due to the convergence and the parallel lines and all that shit. But at the same time, now I'm still holding it in my mind, but now I'm trying to think about, again, the diagonal, right? And I'm literally losing the back plane here. So this visible plane, the projected outward back version of this, I'm really losing the diagonals there, right? But I'm trying. And the beautiful thing is like I can just keep trying. I can just keep trying and keep trying. And now I see most of the diagonals, not all of them all at once, but I do see about like 3 of them. I see this back one, I see this front one, this one, and this one's still vague, this back one, right? And this top one I don't really see at all, because it's fucking hard to see that shit, bro. It is hard to see that shit, but that's why I'm trying. That's why we're trying. Right, and this is actually where the diagonal is. That makes sense. There you go. So for this one, this bottom one right here, like this is the diagonal, right? So, and again, I'm always trying to start with the back planes for seeing these, because the more I see the back plane, the more I also, it's like a twofer, right? I think it's called a twofer, where 2 for 1, where I see through the form and I start with seeing through the form, right? So that way I improve my ability to see through the form. Fuck, my battery's dying for this iPad. Plug it in. Yeah, improve my ability to see through the form, right? And that's a distraction, so now I have to like bring my brain back and be like, okay, see it again, like reconstruct. But I improve my ability to see through the form, and I improve my ability to like see the diagonals for the seen through forms. Because the better I see that, the better I see everything else. And now that I'm trying to see all these diagonals, I'm trying to, again, I'm trying to really, and I mean really, um, start seeing the center lines, right? The center planes, sorry, the center planes that attaches them. And immediately I saw this one pretty decently, right? I see this one pretty decently. What about this one? This one's okay. This one's okay. It's still a bit vague. And then obviously the horizontal one's also a bit of a struggle, right? But I'm trying to see through the form. And now I'm trying to see them all at once. So like this is where my, and again, you can tell I did off center. I started here. So again, it needs to be right around here. And this is where the cross, the diagonal comes into play. Because like, okay, it's right around there, right? And then, and see, like again, my hand went like this, but that's wrong. I'm exaggerating it there, but it wasn't right. It was this. It should be this, parallel with the line, right? Following the vanishing point, the convergence, all that shit. So now I'm trying to see it all at once, and I'm not gonna ghost because I want to see it in my mind all at once, like, and literally all at once. But this is like the two-step process I've made of like seeing through the, or three-step, see through the form, see the diagonals, right, and then see the center planes attached, right, and that's, and there's like a half step there. It's like a 3.5 step, or step 3.5, or part of step 3, I guess, for like, none of that doesn't make sense. Just part of step 3 is me also trying to consolidate them into one fused 3-plane intersection rather than trying to see them individually. And while I'm speaking, I'm obviously thinking, and this is extremely difficult because I lost everything just now, but like I'm really trying to see everything. And again, like this plane, this center plane is going all the way back there. It's like the point, so it needs to be right around here, because that's where my diagonal is. And my brain, again, oh, my brain's hurting again. That pit of discomfort is fucking, I keep hitting my goddamn head on the camera, but that pit of discomfort is back. And we just need to course correct, because again, I made a diagonal for the center plane here, and that's wrong, so I need to fix that. Oh boy, I need to really lean into this. Like, I need to genuinely, like, I want to be in extreme discomfort, like extreme discomfort, constant extreme discomfort. I'm trying to think about all the diagonals, trying to hold them as anchor points, trying to see the horizontal center plane, right, as well as the two different vertical center planes, right? Technically, it's this one, right, this one and this one. So this one, right, and this one, right, this one, right. So, whew, okay, so I still haven't been able to connect them, but I need to like. Fucking, there you go. Just for a split second, I'm able to see, and it's super hazy, but I'm just trying to calculate the three, and I'm using the diagonals again. I'm really trying to use the diagonals, but I'm trying to calculate, and the bottom diagonal, the top one, these two narrow planes, really got to keep focusing on those as well, right? But I'm really trying to see these center planes that are intersecting with the diagonals and intersecting with each other. And yeah, I'm in output regression. Output regression is when I've reached metabolic exhaustion, right? Which means like my glycogen stores, my energy reserves in my brain, like with my prefrontal cortex, are absolutely exhausted. And this is actually where neuroplasticity is heightened, and it's at its highest. So I got to keep leaning into this. I got to keep, and it's going to be happening hundreds of times, hundreds of sessions. It's going to keep happening until it doesn't, right? Because my brain will take a lot of time to try to figure this out. But this is the cost. So this is the cost to entry to mediocrity, not even excellence. This is the cost of entry to mediocrity, right? When it comes to geometric spatial reasoning and just spatial reasoning in general. Okay, really leaned in there. I'm gonna rest my brain. I'm gonna try that one more time. It's in 48 minutes, right? So I'm gonna try that one more time, and then we're gonna try putting the fucking ellipses inside the center planes, right? Which is gonna be its own sort of fun. And then, yeah, and then we'll try we'll put the ellipses. We'll try to connect it with the sphere. And then we'll just add the features, and we all know the fucking features won't really mean anything, but just because like at that point my brain will be so exhausted. But that's good. Like I want to be at the point where my brain's extremely exhausted, right? So let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Let me switch pens, because at this point I don't even know which one's the new one, which one's the old one, because they're both fucking trash. I love you, Pentel. Please sponsor me. But yeah, please rest your brain. Okay, yeah, goddamn. I mean, yeah, I guess hopefully this session, at the very least, it tells you that, like, no matter what, just don't give up and keep fucking trying, right? Like, just keep trying, keep trying. And again, immediately while I'm looking at this, I've already started thinking about the scene through form and all the diagonals, right, that exist. And that's already really difficult, because if I try to think about every single diagonal, I'm already struggling quite a bit, right? But it's so much easier. This first step, I really think I've consolidated this process to be even more streamlined. It's like, think about only the diagonals first, right? And this back diagonal actually I've been getting wrong, so I need to make sure that's proper, right? But only think about the diagonals, right? Don't think about anything else. Just get those diagonals down. And I'm already in extreme discomfort, right? I'm already in extreme discomfort trying to think about those diagonals. By the way, and being able to think about this shit is what allows you to just do something like this, where it's like, I want to draw a manipulated contour. That's interesting. We're like, oh, okay, well, here I have this, now that looks correct in perspective, right? Like, what if I want a different type of diagonal? Well, okay, we can do something more subtle like this, right? There you go. And then, I don't know, you want to have actually, maybe this isn't a good example, but the point is you can create things that look correct in perspective when they have diagonal cutouts, because you're thinking about the overall box, right? And you're thinking about the diagonal that's reaching like that, right? Like, even in these cross sections, you can take it to such an autistic level, bro. But I don't plan on taking it to that level, right? This is more than enough autism for one mind, right? Anyways, back to actually thinking. But anyways, because drawing is thinking, let's not forget that, right? But I'm really trying to think about the diagonals, and now I'm trying to put 3 center lines, and this is very difficult because my brain is actually like dead now, right? So if I have the diagonal here, right? This one, this, I'm doing the back plane right now. That's projected outward from this plane. So this one, right? This diagonal, and this is where this center plane comes across, right? And this is gonna be fucked because like this top one is like full of lines, like super thin. Oh my god. Okay, so let's try to, and my brain is literally taxed so much right now, but I am like, and I'm in so much discomfort. That pit of discomfort's back, but let's really try to think about the diagonals and think about the 3-plane intersection, right? Based on those diagonals. Dude, I'm in so much discomfort. That pit in my stomach, I can't explain. It is very uncomfortable. Extreme pit of discomfort in my stomach. I think that's the only way to explain it, because it's literally like a pit. If this is my belly, right? There's something like this. That's just there. And if this is my head, right? Oh, fucking, that's my brow ridge, Jesus Christ. But this is my forehead. It's like doosh, 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 doosh. Just like, it's like this feeling of pressure that's just attacking it, because I'm literally using my brain a fuck ton, right? So yeah, that's what I go through every single session, and I try to be in that state as much as possible, but it's extremely difficult to even try to be in that state. So you build the skill of trying to be in that state as much as possible as well. And by the way, while I'm talking, I'm already seeing through the form, right? I'm trying to think about it as much as possible, right? I'm really trying to think about it as much as possible. Trying to think about, and that's just seeing through the form is already making me extremely uncomfortable, because I'm trying to see it to a relatively high degree of fidelity, right? And it is really comforting that even Kim Jong-un never saw everything like 100% fidelity in his mind. He like maximum saw 60, because that's basically what I experienced. It's like anywhere from like fucking 10% to like 50 to 60%, right? Obviously, your brain chunks it, so like things get easier and easier. So like things that was a 60 gets to like 100, right? But overall, you know, like it seems like there's a fucking market cap. No, there's not a market cap. It seems like there's a cap. Possibly. I mean, he was the first human printer, as far as we can tell, right? In terms of like sheer imaginative and draftsmanship ability, right? Not that others haven't reached that level of skill, like Heinrich Clay, 100%, the man who inspired Disney, right? There are many draftsmen, right? I don't know why I fucking extended it to that length. It's probably very cringe. I feel cringed out, but there are many draftsmen and draftswomen, but the term is draftsman, so fucking deal with it, right? Like Sori Kim, TV Choi, right? Like a lot of these fucking individuals, right? Men and women have reached incredible levels of draftsmanship ability, right? And by the way, while I'm talking, I'm fucking trying to think about the diagonals, and it's very difficult, but a lot of these individuals have reached this level of ability. So it's not as if Kim Jong-il I think he just maxed it out. Like, that is my personal opinion. I think him and people like him who draw like him, especially with like pen and ink, and I'm enamored by pen and ink, so that's what I'm focusing on. They maxed out like the sheer imaginative form understanding and fucking large scale perspective, all that shit, right? But there are many excellent artists who are excellent draftsmen, so like this is not new. You know, this is like, it's just a testament to that everybody has the capability to build extremely strong technical abilities and then use their own personal life experience, which is just ends up being their style. Like, and by life experience, I mean literally just how you perceive the world, and that is translated through your proficiency, right? Your technical proficiency, you know. Currently, this is how I see the world, right? Currently, with my level of technical proficiency, quote unquote technical proficiency, right? This is how I like think, and this is my style, and like these are the decisions I've been making, right? But that's the thing, like, and everybody has their own, and it's beautiful. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just trying to say that it's amazing that, like, it's comforting to know that you can achieve this because it has been achieved, right? Think about being the first person who was doing this. Then you're in the fucking blind. You're like, am I even doing this correctly? And by the way, like, while I'm talking, I'm really trying to think about the diagonals, and now I get distracted by myself too. So like, I need to fucking really focus on the 3-plane intersection, like I said I would, right? Because I need to lean into that. I need to lean into that. I need to lean into that. And I need to really, really, really lean into that. And again, this plane is going like this for the center plane. That's going this way, right? Like this one. My brain immediately is making this line. It should be going this way, like that, and it's stopping it here instead of stopping it way, way back here, right? So. These are all, fuck, my head keeps hitting the goddamn camera, but these are fucking, I tap my goddamn finger on the camera too. But anyways, these are all things that need to be done, like, to be corrected, right? Oh, it's so fun, bro. It's so fun, because, like, the diagonals I keep losing. I'm in sheer output regression, right? Again, treat your mind like an engineer. Treat your mind like it's literally just a fucking experiment, right? It's like, oh, I'm experiencing this, I'm experiencing that, oh, I'm experiencing this discomfort. Oh, look, my mind consistently is getting the lines keep going wrong. Like, it's going this way, but it's supposed to be going this way, but it's going this way, right? Like, everything's flickering. Like, you have to be an observer to your learning to understand that you're not a fucking, like, this isn't like some deep thing where you're like, I'm pulling it out of my ass. Oh, it's so beautiful. My soul is crying to me. It's like, no, you're thinking. You're thinking, your brain is using energy resources, your parietal lobe and your prefrontal cortex, more so in my case, both of them, but in your case, probably just the prefrontal cortex, because I doubt any of you are fucking narrating while you're talking, which is extremely difficult. Narrating while you're talking, narrating while you're thinking, right? Like, your prefrontal cortex is being used. Astrocytic glycogen, your glycogen reserves are what is the energy resource that is used when you apply this level of spatial reasoning, right? Spatial reasoning is inherently difficult. You're taxing your working memory. This is a cognitive endurance skill, right? Spatial reasoning. These are the objective things that you can focus on and control and be an observer to. You're not fucking, like, nobody's a fucking little, like, it's not woo, I guess, for lack of a better word, right? Art is not a little feel-good, like, pastime skill when we're talking about the skill. Right? It is feel good. It is obviously feel good. It's a pastime. You feel good and all. But when we're talking about learning, it is not. There's nothing mysterious about it. It is sheer cognitive effort. Sheer cognitive effort, and it always will be sheer cognitive effort. Right? And that is a beautiful thing because you can control those things, right? And I can't even see the 3 center planes at all, but I'm gonna lean into it just as much as I can with all the diagonals and trying to visualize them and trying to see all the center planes, or I'm gonna really try to lean into them. I'm gonna really try to see this center plane, right? I'm gonna really fucking try to see the center plane. Every line I make, I'm really trying to think about the diagonal as well in my mind and on the page, like in my mind, and like when I ghost as well, I'm trying to think about the diagonal that it's intersecting with, right? Like right around there actually is more accurate. See, so I made a mistake. Now I know, right around there is the center line for the back plane. So this is the back plane, right? This is the diagonal for the back plane. This is the center plane. It stops here because that's where the center line is, that's where the diagonal meets, and then it goes up, right? So that's something I didn't think about. Thinking about it now, right? So I have to like will myself to fix it in that regard, right? And this is why ghosting is a great bridge between your motor cortex and your prefrontal cortex, right? It is not a fucking ghosting is not like, oh yeah, it helps with your confidence. Yes, it does. Like, that's objectively true. But when you know why, in my opinion and my experience, the more you know what's happening in your brain, the more you can fucking feel at ease and then be in control to the best of your ability of the effort you put towards what's happening in your brain. But let me just try to hold it. Let me just try to, because I'm like losing the fucking discomfort, right? So and the effort. So let me just try to hold those 3 center planes with all the diagonals. I can't really see it that well at all, like fucking 2%. But I'm just trying to hold it as much as I can to the best of my ability. And I'm already losing. And like the fucking horizontal center plane is literally ending here, which is completely wrong because it should always be ending within the bounds of the box itself, right? But I'm just trying to, and it's already higher up here when it shouldn't be. It should be over here, right? And that's just the horizontal plane, not even counting everything else. But okay, whew. This feels like taking a fucking shit, bro. Just straining yourself. Just a fat dookie, as they say. Wasn't Dooku a Star Wars character? That's an unfortunate name. I don't know shit about Star Wars, fucking Emperor Poo Poo. But anyways, rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. Oh shit, it's already been an hour. Okay, we're just gonna try to fucking get the ellipses in there and then draw the face. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me rest my brain. And just for another point of reassurance, it's completely fucking normal to feel like you're gonna be here forever. It's completely fucking normal to feel like there's no end in sight. I do this level of intensity to the best of my ability. Again, I probably wasn't thinking as intensely as I was yesterday. Maybe there was like a session where I really thought intensely and that was amazing, but I haven't reached that in fucking days, let alone weeks. Maybe not even months I haven't reached a level of intensity, but that's fine because you just keep trying to put as much effort as possible. And it is completely fucking normal. And I'm telling you, it's completely normal, at least from my experience, because I am average to below average, to just feel like there's no fucking end in sight. But there is. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten here in 3 years and 7 months, right? Watch my video. Watch the video on my channel, right? Just to get more retention out of you cocksuckers. But watch the video. This is a video for beginner artists. You are not alone, right? There was no end in sight there, I'm telling you. It literally felt like I was going to be drawing fucking boxes and cylinders for the rest of my life. And like to that level of difficulty. Not to say that I always will be. Clearly I'm fucking always trying boxes, if not cylinders, right? But like I'm saying, it felt like I would be struggling with this concept for the rest of my fucking life until I did it, because my brain consolidated it, right? Like that's normal. I think according to cognitive load theory, like it takes fucking months and months and months of this type of like spatial reasoning effort for your brain to even consolidate it like partially, right? So it makes sense. Like I do feel like I'm gonna be here forever. I literally do. And that's okay, because this is the second time I've been in this phase. First time was boxes and cylinders, right? Like really getting them down, all that intensive cluster practice. And now second time is this, right? So it's normal and it's fine. And I because I've been through it once, I can 100% expect to go through it again, right? And be okay with it. And that's why I guess that's my little wisdom that I can impart to you is like, yo, it's normal, bro. It's fucking normal. And like that's the one thing I can tell you is like you will get through it. And if you don't, you'll be dead. And if you're dead, it won't matter. So, right? Like it's just, or if you don't, you just gave up. And even if you gave up, it doesn't matter. Because congrats, you gave up, right? You're no longer an aspiring artist or an artist or somebody who tries. So it doesn't really matter again anyways. But anyways, fucking Jesus Christ, I don't even think that made sense. But what I'm trying to say is you'll get through it. You'll get through it, don't worry. You'll get through it because I'm here. I'm here in the trenches with you. Like body double with me, give me retentions, fucker. I'm here in the trenches, right? That must mean something, right? You must respect me for that. But I said you must respect me for that. Sometimes I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. Like the voices I make and shit. Like I don't know if anybody understands this or Hanan's family. Like I don't know. But anyways, fuck it. Let's just try to get the ellipses down. I can barely think about them. I can literally barely think about them. But let's just try to get them down, and then. Let's see, because this is my ellipse, right? Because that's the diagonal. Yeah, this is my, so it's like right here. This is my ellipse. And I think my sphere ends right here, right? My sphere is like something like this, I think, right? I know it ends right here because that's where the horizontal one ends. But I need to think about like this, okay, so it goes like this. It's like here. So I can think about it a little bit better now. Yeah, see, because I'm thinking about this. There you go. There you go. Yeah, holy shit. Actually, see, I don't see all of it, but oh my god, I actually do see my sphere. And it's like this, I think. It's pretty close. Okay, I don't really see anything anymore. But it's been an hour, right? So let's just draw this dickhead's face and get it done with. So here is my horizontal plane, right? It's like right around there. So here it is. And this is where it roughly ends. So here is this dickhead's eyebrow. I'm just gonna draw that first, but here's his eyebrow. Something like this. Can we get a pen to work, please? Please, Kami-sama, Tanome. I beg of you. I fucking beg of you. Just, I think this one will actually be good. I had a feeling, for some reason, that this pen would actually absorb. And then we bring it yonder, right? And this is the center, so this makes sense to me too, because this is the center. So we take a step back, set out of his face, right around there. I think this is actually a bit too far out. I think I fucked that up, but You see how, and that's another thing. You see, I'm always saying like I think I fucked this up. Like I'm always trying to analyze what's working and what isn't, right? And even now, like I'm trying to see through the form, but you have to understand, like because I'm going back and forth between looking at the reference to get the features, at least like the size and the placement down. Not like maybe not super accuracy, but just the size and the placement relatively, right? Like I am also cognitively, my cognition is being stilted in the sense, if not stilted, what's the right word? My cognition is being it's not being misdirected. It's basically like I have to focus on multiple things at once, and it's being interrupted. There you go. It's being interrupted. Like I'm looking at the reference, right? I'm looking at the reference. I'm looking here. Looking at the reference. Looking here. And after each time I come back, I have to constantly just be like, oh, okay, wait. See through the form. Right? See the form. See the center line. See the fucking diagonals. All that shit. See the ellipses. Right? So I'm just vaguely trying to keep that in mind as much as possible, because right now, what really does matter to me is and again, like the bottom of the ellipse is here. Right, so I'm trying to think, like bottom of the sphere, sorry, because I keep interchanging ellipse and sphere, and that's just purely because my brain's fucking retarded. I'm the retard. But let's see, I need to think in terms of the bottom of the sphere, right? Because that is right around here, I believe, right? Because we have this ellipse, and then we have this ellipse, so it's like right around here. So if that's the bottom, and again, I have to think about the Loomis third, so that's roughly the top, I believe. Right, like right around there. Yeah, like the top is like right here somewhere. So 1/3, or like it's like 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And like I don't fucking know, bro. We'll just have to. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, because again, you have to I keep saying you have to understand, but I'll keep saying it because like you do need to understand that. On top of just thinking about all of that, which is basically fucking impossible for me right now, I also have an extreme, like I can't keep all these ratios in mind, right? Let alone the fucking Loomis ratios. I really cannot keep these like basically I can't think about right now. I can't think about the fact that like all these fucking like this I can't think about this entire fuckery and then also think about the Loomis proportions, right? So like there are going to be many mistakes that are made, right? And that's okay. Like that's fine, right? I'm just doing my best while I constantly look at the perspective, right, or look at the reference, Jesus, to understand to the best of my ability, right, and again, the calculations, basically. I'm just like, while I draw the reference, I try to get the reference accurate. I'm also just doing to the best of my ability, trying to understand where the fuck, like, this guy's face goes, right, and it's probably very wrong, right, it's probably very wrong, but I'm okay with being wrong, like, I'm okay with that. Very interesting lips, right? And I think I made his philtrum too large. Yeah, I did make his philtrum too large, possibly, right? And then this chin. Oh wait, that's because I fucked up the chin. The chin was supposed to be here. The bottom of the lips actually, like, yeah, I fucked this up. This is the middle of the lips, supposed to be smaller, like that. And then this is his chin. But it's okay. It's okay. Fuck-ups will happen. And now I have to think about, like, okay, take a step back, try to see through the entire form again. See center planes. Now think, like, where does this end of the sphere meet? Because that's where the ear is basically, like, from my understanding, like, we have the sphere, right? And then let's say it's like this. There's one side, that's the other side, and this is like the fucking, like, these are all the different cos axes, right? The ear is in this section right here. It's in this section, right? Of this, like, of this fuckery. Like, this is where the ear resides, according to the Loomis proportions. And again, Loomis is just a template. I'm creating a strong, foundational, extremely geometrically, spatially reasoned template, which then will be manipulated, like, as I get, because then, like, I just have the template in my mind, right? So it's all about creating that fucking template. So right now, I just need to take a step back and be like, okay, where is it? I think it's right here, right? Let's see again. I'm trying to think about the sphere. I can't think about anything right now. Like, I genuinely cannot think about anything, but I'm trying to really see through the form and trying to think about, right now I'm trying to think about literally the center planes, the 3 center planes, and then the ellipses inside those center planes. And I think it's like this. So I think the ear is literally right here. So let's see how that goes in terms of, like, the ear should be right around here. Let's see how that goes in terms of the reference. And I think it's a bit inaccurate, but I think it's okay. Right, and again, like, hopefully me constantly just saying, I think this, I think that, gives you a little bit of solace and, like, oh, he just really doesn't know, but he's just constantly trying to figure it out, right? That's kind of like the, if I can give you some solace, right, would be the fact that like he really doesn't know. You know, like this guy is a fucking moron. But he's trying so hard. I'm gonna like, subscribe, give him attention. Right. So you're welcome, I guess. Oh, I fucked up the eye placement too. I fucked up a lot of things. I fucked up. I don't know why I said I fucked up like that, but there you go. And this is the ear. So like that's basically, and then the neck is like right around here. Makes sense, right? And then he's got like a little double. Double is just what I call double chin, but yeah, there you go. Okay, so that is basically what I tried. Again, I want to be very clear. Like I didn't see anything there. Like I've very like, and I'm sure anybody who actually draws along with me is aware that by this point my brain's just exhausted. But let's see what I actually tried to see. Right. So let's do something like. Because now we're actually going to draw everything I've been trying to visualize. Not what I have visualized, but again, keywords, like everything I've been trying to visualize, right? I've been trying to visualize. Not that I have been visualizing, but I've been trying to. I want to keep saying that to make it very clear that like this fuckery is the goal. Like this is the goal, right? This is not the current ability, right? Nah, fuck, see, I fucked that center line up, god damn it. Shit, there you go. We're just gonna have to ignore that. So see, like now I'm gonna do it the way that I think I should be doing it, which is think about the diagonals first. Oh, this line's gonna be really bad. Yeah, that line was pretty fucked. Think about the diagonals first. See, I got that wrong too, Jesus Christ. So you can see, like even just like getting lines to interact properly, I suck at quite so. But yeah, get the diagonals first, and the same thing with this front one. Oh wait, see, like I connected this wrong. I connected to the front plane when it should have been this back plane. There you go. Okay, well we already got this one too to the front plane, so that's fine. Right, but get the diagonals first. Right. And then this front plane. Let's see, what the fuck? Okay, so something like this diagonal, and this diagonal, and then this diagonal, and this one's like all sorts of fucked, but yeah, this one, whatever, the top one, right? And then the next step is like my plan is to like, okay, now think about the centers, right? And this one is going to be very difficult for me to think about. Like just think about, like now build the center plane, right? Like now I can build it. This is going to be a bit fucked, but hopefully it gets the point across. So like now it's like, okay, now you can bring the center planes out. There you go. Something like this. All right, and these two are like basically very close together, right? In terms of like where they are. And this one as well. And this one's like not even, you don't really see it that much. There you go. It's still pretty tame, right? In terms of fucking degree or whatever. Yeah, see? And then, because this one is super subtle, so it's very difficult. And then you add the ellipses. Let me get the pen. This one's gonna be really fucked, because I want to see, like, I can't fucking see anything. This shit's confusing me. Once I put the lines out, I was like, what the fuck, where is anything? But either way, I don't know. We'll just have to do something like this. This is the front one. Right, and I need it to be, like, my ellipses, of course, need a lot of work. Like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? But again, you need to know that I'm really half-assing it. Like, I'm genuinely half-assing this right now, because I'm so tired. Yeah, I think I'll just practice drawing ellipses in perspective when I do my, when I finish my stream. Because obviously I can work on that, see? So, like, this is obviously wrong. I'm just telling you, like, you should be very well aware. Like, this is just... His ellipses are wrong, he's half-assing it, he's tired, right? And then this is my sphere inside of it, right? This is the sphere inside the box that is connected to... So I got the ear placement relatively accurate, actually. I got the sphere, the sphere with the ear placement. And let me change the goddamn pen again, because this pen just wants me to go fuck myself always and forever. But, bruh, come on. Whatever. It's a relatively perfect circle. Not perfect, but decent. Right. And again, it's all based on the accuracy of my ellipses. So my ellipses need to get better in the planes that they reside in. Right. And a lot of that just comes down to my motor skills. It's like A, I can't really see it that well. Like at that size of a plane, I struggle. Right. And B, just because I need to make it. Yeah, it just needs to be better. I think it should be more like this. See, I can do it at this size very well, but once it gets to this, you can see my motor skills struggle quite a bit, right? So all a learning progress, but overall that is the goal, right? Like to see this entire fuckery at a pretty high level of fidelity. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, Jesus Christ. So that was fun. That was extremely difficult. The first half an hour was like immensely fucking difficult and frictionful, and just had sheerly powered through it. And at the end of it, I feel as if I did try a decent amount, right? Maybe I didn't try as hard as I could have, right? But that's life, right? Like I did my best with the cognitive faculties available to me within this current hour and 10 minutes, whatever, right? So just got to keep trying, and that's why we got to keep going. So it's fun, it's great. That's the best part. So I hope you put a lot of effort in as well. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money.